Good morning guys, how you doing? It's Alex here from XX Workshop, and today we've got a very exciting day, as you can see behind me, because it is day one of the workshop build. Now, I've got in this, I think a 1.5 ton digger from Juice and Tire for a week. I've never used one before, so it's going to be interesting to kind of see how to use it. Firstly, I've watched a few videos, see how to use it, and to see if I can get done what I need to get done. I think 7 days should easily be enough. I was expecting maybe, really realistically, maybe being able to do it in 2 or so. But I think if I gave myself 7, that gives me a bit of time to learn and play. And there's a few other bits in the garden I actually want to do, like pulling out some bigger roots and digging some kind of bigger trenches and stuff like that. So yeah, come along with me today. Let's have a little play around on this and see what we can get dug. So as mentioned, this is my first time using one of these mini diggers. I did originally look at getting a micro digger, but the nice guy who I was chatting to on the phone at Juicens basically said it's the same price to get a mini digger as the micro. And a micro is more used for getting into properties that don't have great access, whereas in my property I have a kind of full drive down the side, so I'm able to get in here quite easily. When they dropped it off, they did do a quick little overview of how to use it. Nothing kind of, it wasn't like a tuition or anything like that. It was basically just these levers do that. So a lot of this is going to be kind of learning, so don't go too hard on me, all you pro kind of digger drivers. I'm going to try my best, see what I can do, and hopefully we can get something dug that is usable to fill with the type 1. But yeah, first thing I'm going to have to actually do is go down the end of the garden, and I've bought some spray paint, and my plan is to mark out where I need to dig, because I think that's probably the first thing I should get sorted, just so I know where I need to go. Annoyingly, the ground, looking at it now, it's not super level down there, so I think I'm going to have to play around with the kind of digging and the levels of how much I take out. I don't think I really need to go too deep from my kind of research of laying a kind of concrete base. I think I'm just kind of going to dig down enough to kind of get my type 1 and sand underneath with a bit of the concrete going down. But yeah, let's have a little look down there first and spray out the area. So I've got a DIY store around the corner from me, so I quickly just went and picked up some yellow spray paint. It's not like the marking spray paint that you're kind of meant to use for this. It is just yellow. I think it's wood, plastic and metal spray paint, but it's just going on the ground, so I don't think it matters that much, to be fair. But yeah, in the last video, obviously, you've kind of seen the area that we're planning to do it in. I'll show you here. So it's going to go, obviously, right in the middle here. I think I fully kind of, in the end, decided I'm going to do the 6 metre stretch coming this way, 5.5 metre stretch that way. And the roof, the gable roof's ends will be on these sides. That could change slightly. I've got a bit of time before I kind of do the concrete base pouring, so if it does change, I'll kind of let you guys know. But if you, yeah, it's been a hard kind of decision to make of how to kind of lay stuff out, because obviously the size that we're going, it's nearly kind of a perfect square, to be fair, nearly, but it's slightly off just because I want to go as big as I could, and going that size is the biggest I basically can go internally. But yeah, so that's how I'm planning to do it. Maybe I'm gonna put in the sub base for kind of a 6x6 metre anyway. So if last minute I do decide I want to change this around when I put the forms up, then that's all fine. It will all be okay. But yeah, it's just a lot of decisions of how you're going to lay stuff out in the workshop, where doors are going to go, entryways and stuff. Like one of my biggest things was having a garage door on this kind of side here, this side out, just so I could get bigger stuff in. But obviously we have got the tree house and a big tree there, so I'm just wondering, is that the best place for that to go? At the moment I'm still planning that, because I think I have still got enough access to kind of get in from either this way if I put the door down this end, or if I put it more down the back here, I could still, I've got a nice clean way in. But yeah, it's just something to think about. Don't have to make a final decision yet, but I haven't got long to decide. But anyway, let's get this paint down and see how it goes from there. So first thing I'm planning to do is mark out the area with some spray paint, just so I know where to start digging. Now, as my building is going to be about 3.5 metres tall at its highest point, it's got to be at least 2 metres away from the boundary. So we've got this fence here, and this fence here. So I thought it'd be best to start in the corner here. I'm gonna give myself a little bit more room than I probably need to dig out, just because I want to have a bit more space and a bit more freedom. But yeah, let's mark out firstly down here. So I've got my tape measure, and I'm gonna have a quick look at where we're gonna start. So I'm gonna go about 180 in, which is about, give that a proper shake. As you can see here, boundary wall, and then we come down to here. So 200, you'll see my mark there, which is in line with that. I'm gonna come a little bit back from there, just mark around there so I know that's the point where I want to go. Basically right in that corner there. Beautiful. So I've got this back line marked out. It's about 180 away from the fence, from the boundary wall. So I'm going to give it a quick spray now, just so I know. God, this spray paint is not amazing. I probably should have got proper marking paint. I'm just going to eyeball this one, to be fair. I don't think I need to measure it out. Get that off me. So I think I've found my true calling, which is spray painting the ground, especially if you want extra straight lines, because look at this bad boy. That looks great, perfectly straight down there. You know, you can, I didn't even do that with a level or a ruler or anything. That was just freehand, straight down that line. So I thought on this one I'd just show you guys potentially how to do it if you do want to use something like a tape measure, just to get a bit more straighter. But I don't think you can fault that at all, really. I'm just trying to decide whether it's better to try and dig out that stump first and then start taking off the top layer, or just to go straight in and start taking it off. And I'm also just having a few thoughts about what to do with the soil when I get it off. I've got a few wheelbarrows, so I might start filling them, but there's a few holes in the garden I want to fill, but I've also got a place that I'm going to keep a bit of the soil from, so just got to make a decision about that quickly. But yeah, let's jump in the digger and have a little go at this. Right, we're in the digger, so let's give this bad boy a go and see how we get on. Now I've got to remember how to do all this. So I think first I've got to I've got to turn on the hydraulics first, then lift up. Ooh, there we go, beautiful. And then I'm going to lift the front up a little bit and let's get going. I've got a big ditch down in the front here that I need to watch out for. Not to fall into that straight away, it'd be a great way to start this. Right, the camera's looking a bit shaky on there, so I might move you guys around. Out of the way, Luna. Move you guys around to a better position. Right, Luna decides she does not like the digger. I've got a few, they gave me a few buckets here, I don't know if you can see. They look like there's a kind of grading bucket and then two, maybe a, don't know if that's a 24 and an 18 or a 12 and an 18, but yeah, they gave me them. So I'm going to drop them down here very carefully. And then lift that up. Bring that back in. And there we go. That wasn't too bad. I think it might take me an hour or two to get used to it, so I'm going to have a little play first before I start digging anything too gravely, just to see how it works. So yeah, let's have a little play with it now. Right, I think the best thing to do is put on one of these other buckets, which I've just nicely dropped over here. See how heavy this is. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. I think the guy said take bin out. I always find it interesting when I'm doing something new like this, just how long some things can take to do, you know, like I've never used this before. I've kind of got to get used to how it all works and understand. Oh God. There we go. yeah, just understand how bits maybe kind of go together and how you do things right. You know, there's a lot of ways of doing things, and if you've never done it before, it can sometimes be a bit of a daunting task to get sorted. But it looks like that is off. So let's move that out of the way quickly. Roll that forward. Roll that again. Oh, that's heavy. And then let's put this bad boy into place. It's like something like this, changing a head on a digger. I've never done it before. You know, like I don't know how you're meant to do it. But that's why we do things like that, you know, so we can learn. And I'm one of those people that I like to learn how to do different bits, how to get stuff done. So it's always fun. Right, that looks like that's in there nicely. See if this one goes in just as nice. Right, beautiful. So there's probably a way better way of doing that, which I do not know. There we go, all changed over. Okay, I don't know how to pick up that bucket, so I am just gonna move it out of the way. There we go, out of the way. Beautiful, we got it. Alright, we're heading for that tree stump over there. So let's see what we can do. I believe we put this down and then bring that up and then I need that to be out more. Okay. Just going to dump this here to begin with. I did see a little trick online which said about putting, normally we're on a little bit of a hill here, putting the bucket down the scraper behind me to give me a bit of a leverage and then spin him round. I think the biggest thing I see obviously pro people do is using two motions at once, which is obviously something I'm probably going to have to try to learn a bit on this. But yeah, I'm going to have a little go, a little play off camera and just see if I can get this stump out, and then yeah, we can go from there. Okay, we got it out, and bloody hell, I'm glad I didn't try and dig this out because that is huge. Oh god. I think it's still connected in a few places, but hey ho. Let's see if we can. Woo! Beautiful. That is a big boy. That is a very big boy. Very big. I'm definitely glad we got a digger to do that. Made a bit of a mess, but that's what we've got a digger here for. Now there's quite a few to do along here, so I think I'm going to keep testing my skills, you know, keep trying and keep just having to go along this way. We've got to take that out as well, so I might give that a little dig. But yeah, I'm going to keep going along and just seeing what I can get out of the way, you know. Just, there's too many kind of big roots, big plants along here that I need to try and get out, get sorted. Might, if I throw these over here, I might give that. There's another big boy there, but I'm a bit worried it's a bit close to the fence, that one. I'm worried how much that might pull out down there, but yeah, we'll have a little look, see what we can get done. Right. The driving's not too bad on here. I feel like the driving's a lot, I say as I'm bouncing around, it's not too bad, but the digging's definitely just got to make sure I don't knock anything over backwards either while I'm doing this. I don't think I realised how much the garden might get messed up as well doing this, so I mean it's all going to get done eventually anyway, so it's not that much of a problem really. But yeah, let's see what this bad boy can do. There we go. Oh baby, there we go. Right, I think I'm getting a bit more the hang of this now. Although I am destroying the garden a bit. But yeah. Right, I think it'd be good to move some of these out of the way. I've got a little pile over here that I've started making of stuff which will eventually need to go. So I'm going to throw that on there. Because it's a bit hard to kind of see what I've actually pulled out and what I haven't pulled out yet. So, oh, that's so nice having the digger and being able to just get these. Look at that, you ain't pulling that out ever, are you? You're never getting these roots out of the ground, so it's nice to have something that can do it so easily. As I said, I did try digging these out for a while, but stupid me, obviously you're never going to dig something that size out of the ground, so not with your hands anyway, not with a spade. But yeah, get them on there. Don't know what I'm going to do with this pile yet, to be fair. I did originally think about burning it, but I always feel that's a bit deep in residential areas, having a big bonfire, so I might just slowly start taking it to a dump, because I'm not too far from a dump anyway, so it won't take too long. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I just noticed there's a little pipe thing here. I think this is just a, I thought it was like a border for some planting, but I think it's just actually a bit of old pipe that's been put in the ground. Now I don't know with these kind of roots and stuff that's left under here, whether that's something I need to just leave, or if I need to dig all that out as well. Good morning guys, we are back for day 2 of the digging for the new workshop. Couldn't sleep a lot last night because I was just thinking about how I was going to kind of do certain bits, and just I was watching a few videos on kind of how to use the digger a bit better, how to kind of dig this bit and how to kind of dig the trench. So I feel I've got a kind of good plan today of what I want to do. I think the first thing I need to do is in this corner where I dug up a kind of bigger plant, kind of tree, clear that up and kind of push some of the dirt back into the hole down there, just to kind of get that sorted, because that is right on my line of my workshop. So just clean that up a little bit, and And yeah, and also I need to get rid of this. So I imagine this is an old clothes hanging pole for putting up your washing, but it's got the biggest piece of concrete I think I've ever seen. Looks like it's kind of like 5 or 6 bags worth of concrete on that, and I can't lift that at all. So I think what I'm going to do is get my grinder, cut that off, and then try and lift it out with the digger and throw it over there or something to begin with. But yeah, should be good. So let's jump into it and see what we can get done. Right, let's get this cut. Make sure you got your safety goggles obviously on for this. There we go. I might get the sledgehammer and see if I can break this up a little bit, because I think the digger will pick it up, but it is very heavy indeed. So I might just see if I can smash it in two quickly first. So don't know if you can tell, but it rained overnight, which I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The ground was quite hard because it hasn't really rained here for at least a month or two. So I'm hoping maybe that's kind of softened up the dirt a little bit. But also I guess it's going to make it a lot more messy now. Yesterday I kind of got away with driving all over the garden and it didn't do too much damage, but it might rip up a bit more today. But yeah, we'll see. Doesn't really matter either way because we're eventually redoing the whole garden, so not too worried about it. But let's see how this goes. That is not doing anything at all. So I think we're going to have to digger that up and get it out of there. Just trying to get right underneath it. Oh, there we go. Well, that's much easier, isn't it? Oh, okay, now we got to see if we can throw this somewhere. I'm thinking, as the ground does seem pretty soft, I'm going to try and put this grading bucket on. I'm going to try and use that to bring this down to level. Yeah, so let's get this off and then we can see what we're working with. Only one thing I'm realising now is obviously grading all this. Obviously the top layer of the grass is probably not gonna be a great thing to just bury, so I think I'm gonna have to maybe make a pile for the grass somewhere. And kind of sort that out afterwards, you know. I've got some areas in the garden where I'm trying to raise them up a bit, but obviously filling it with grass is probably not the best idea. So I've got used for the dirt, but yeah, the grass probably not as much. The problem is that I could keep putting the dirt here, but eventually over there is where I'm going to have to dig a trench, so I don't want to get too close to that big, because I'm going to need to be in there and dig. So yeah, I might just see. don't know if you can keep seeing, but there's a little robin who the last few days he's kind of been with me. I've been getting the garden ready and been digging up. He's literally the whole time been coming round, and I guess as I dig stuff, he then eats it, you know. I turned over one of those paving stones and there was tons of ants and little grubs and stuff, and he just, as soon as I walked away, he just dove straight in there. I actually got quite a good close-up photo of him on one of the bits when I was clearing up. He had a little, what looked like a little grasshopper in his mouth. Made me think of the ending of Bug's Life. Well, is it the ending? Can't remember. Yeah, with the bird and seeing the grasshopper. Good film if you haven't seen it. I mean, I imagine most of you have. Old film. I used to love watching that on repeat. It's funny how quickly you can kind of get on these controls, to be fair. Like, oh, I'll just drop that all in the hole. Doesn't take long to kind of get a bit more used to it all and start knowing what you're doing a bit more. I think that I'm doing not too bad of a job. I know it's a little bit bumpy, but I think once I've kind of dug, got a last little row to do there, I might just give it a quick measure after that, and then I think I'm going to get the digger in there and see if I can kind of push the dirt around a bit and kind of level it like that. I mean, I'm kind of wondering how level this needs to be, because obviously I'm going to eventually fill it with the Type 1, but I can kind of see here this middle bit's quite high, that bit looks a bit lower, but I think generally it's looking decent. And I mean, I think depth wise that should be not too bad. I kind of want the concrete just touching the grass just in there. I don't want it too low below it. There has been a few big roots in here. I'm not sure whether I need to kind of dig these out or whether these are okay, but I might dig them out just in case for some reason they don't like it. But yeah, I'm going to do this last bit. Should just be kind of one straight bit there, and then I think we are good to go. So let's jump on here. Definitely getting a lot more used to the digger now, which is good, I feel. Definitely takes a while to get used to, but once you've kind of got a bit of a knack for it, it's not too bad, I find. Right. Seems like there's a bit of metal or something down there, maybe. Yeah. Probably need to get that out. There we go. I wasn't expecting it to kind of destroy as much of the garden kind of as I thought, but there's the robin again. But it has been tearing up. I think because obviously it rained, it's a lot softer ground now, but it has definitely made it a bit easier to dig in than it did yesterday. So, you know, bit of a catch-22. I'm going to try to not accidentally smack the tree house here as well while I'm digging. We've got 2 tons of sand. We've got some 6 metre 2x6s, and then we've also got this MOT Type 1 crushed concrete, and there's about 7 tons of that. So I did a bit of calculations just to work out exactly what I needed, and I'm gonna do 100 millimeter sub base of that, and then a 25 millimeter sub base of that. So yeah, I was gonna look at renting a dumper for moving all of this, but I think I've luckily got enough friends and family who will come and help me move it all. So yeah, thank you to them. But we will see, maybe we'll get a few wheelbarrow loads in and be like, hell no, we are not doing this. But yeah, we'll see how that kind of goes. I was expecting a lot more, to be fair, when he kind of dropped off the Type 1. I was thinking 7 tons was going to be a lot more than that, whereas I don't know, maybe I'm just being stupid, but I don't feel like that's crazy amount of trips to the back of the garden. So yeah, we'll see though. I'll let you know. I'm estimating, I think it's going to be about 80 trips, but I'm thinking if there's kind of 3 or 4 of us doing it, 20 each, it's not too bad, is it? And we can use the excavator to fill the wheelbarrows up, hopefully. So yeah, should be good. I've just brought in one of my 6 meter lengths, and as you can see, I think we are pretty spot on. Got a bit of room there, and we got a bit of room this side. So I might end up bringing this a little bit closer, but I just need to do a measure off that wall. But yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go get another one. And just check that dimension, because that's about 5.5. So just make sure that's right. And if it is, then we are all good, and I can get the excavator down in here and start trying to semi level it. Yeah, and see how it goes like that. But yeah, quite pleased with that actually. Not taking too long, a couple of hours. But yeah, hopefully, I'm hoping today, get this kind of all sorted, get the dirt kind of around the edge cleared out a bit, and we should be good to go onto the trenching. So we've got the second one down. I've definitely gone a bit past it. I've probably done about 6 meters instead of 5.5, but we've got the second one down just to see sizing, and yeah, all looks good. So I think what I'm going to do now is get the digger in there, start trying to level it somehow a little bit, just to see if I can get level. I think basically around the edges I need to give them a bit of a scrape back, and probably in the middle. The rest of it doesn't seem too bad. I'm wondering whether it's better to get in a corner, you know, and then scrape it out a bit. Alright, I've kind of driven down in there. If I'm honest, I didn't really know what was the best way of doing it, but I feel like I've kind of got it. I know it doesn't look great, but I've kind of got a bit of a slight level, in a sense of a lot of this dirt is it's all broken up. So I'm just wondering whether I come in here with a level and just see if I can just kind of make it roughly seem a bit more level. I know it probably isn't the best way of doing this, but I'm not really sure with the digger what's the best way of leveling it. Obviously I can kind of push bits here now with this and kind of work it as level. I did see online people saying about putting a string line from one end to the other, getting that level and then measuring off that. So I feel like that could be a good option, but I thought if I kind of sorted it out a bit like this first, we can kind of see. I don't know whether I need to compact this down as well, or if this, I just put the stone straight on it, because obviously I'm going to whack the stones once that's all in here, so maybe it's not something I need to really do, but I don't know if to run the whacker over it just to get it as compacted as possible. It might help with the layer leveling as well a little bit. I can see when there's spots where it's high or where it's low. Tell you that is definitely not easy work. One of the big reasons why I wanted to do this all myself was there's a YouTube channel, Victory Concrete Services, Ryan, over in America in Wisconsin, and I've been watching him now for last 8 months or so, and it's just so interesting. Like, I never thought something like just watching a crew of guys do concrete would be that interesting, but it just is. But yeah, one of the biggest reasons I wanted to do that was after watching his videos, you know, and I just wanted to give it a go myself. So I've got to say though, when you're watching it, it definitely doesn't look like that much work, but God, yeah, if I was doing that all day, it's completely back-breaking. Right, I'm just going to do a little check with this bad boy, just to see if we're about right. Right, that's there. That's, oh, there we go. Right, that fits nicely there. We've got a bit of room either side for 6 meters. Beautiful, beautiful. And then let's see what it's saying this way for our 5.5 meters. Okay. If we go right down in the ditch, I've marked 5.5 there. So, okay, so we probably do want to move that dirt out. Move that dirt, and then I might use that dirt in those holes. The dirt that I've backed up here, I think I'm going to fill up a wheelbarrow with a spade, and then just so I don't mess up the ground now, it's kind of a bit more levelled, and put it in those holes, start filling those holes up a bit, unless it seems like it's going to take forever, and then I might change my mind, but we will see. But yeah, let's go with that. So I've just picked up this bad boy. It says it's rated for 450 kilos. I have got a decent wheelbarrow down there, but I just thought this might be a good option for also moving some dirt. Load that up. It's also got the option here, pull that out and can dump like that as well. So yeah, I'm going to go fill this up down there and then start trying to fill a few of these holes, see how we get to with that. This dirt seems like it might be a bit better than the other dirt that I dug out, because this is just dirt. It's got no sand in it. I mean, it's got a few. It's got a few roots and bits in it, but generally it looks a bit better than the dirt that I dug out around each side that's full of sand and other bits. So it's very dusty though, it's very dry compared to that top layer that we took off. Question is, how heavy is this going to be? Am I actually going to be able to move it? Well, we're about to find out. Right, that'll do. Let's see. Okay, not too bad. Let's get the rest of this moved. God, any of you landscape guys, this is full on work, you know. Yeah, I definitely appreciate what you guys do now. I mean, it's not the most technical, but God, I'm literally dying just doing that. I don't know how anybody who works in any kind of physical landscape job like that isn't just ripped all the time, because that's actually killing me. But I think we've moved a lot of this dirt from the back, which is quite good. It was kind of a bit more rounded down, whereas now it's a bit more of a straight line. I mean, it's not the most level, but it's looking decent. Started filling some holes down there as well, so it seems a bit pointless filling the holes because I'm about to jump in the digger and basically dig them back up. But I thought it'd be better to move the dirt first, get it in them, and then start digging the trench down here. And then that's most of the digger work done, to be fair, so that'd be good. But yeah, just going to move these last two bits and then get on with the next bit. Get another pile up on the pad. Beautiful. Oh. So it's getting to the end of the day now. Quite pleased with what I've got done today. Obviously dug out all of the kind of base, leveled it, started clearing both sides where I dumped it all. I've been able to use one of the sides to fill over the holes, and then at the moment I'm making a pile in a corner of the garden. You can see over there that's not really used at the moment. I'm just been thinking about what's best to do with it, whether to just leave it there for the moment, or to look at getting a grab hire to maybe come pick it up. The only problem is I'd need to move it all, so might be if I'm gonna do grab hire, I need to really move it this week. The way things are going though, I think I'm getting on pretty well, so part of me is thinking, do I just bite the bullet and get the rest of this sorted, and then whatever free time I have left, see if I can move this to the front garden so a grab hire could come along and get it. We've also got, I'll show you here, I've also got down there the pile of roots and different bits to cut off, and obviously that small pile there, so it'd be nice to get rid of that as well. This is how much we've kind of got left down there, not too much, but let me jump down here. Yeah, pretty happy with the progress on day 2. Things are moving along. I'm hoping tomorrow, I've potentially got a friend coming over, so I might see about starting to move some type 1 in here, see how that goes. I'm hoping we've got 2/3 wheelbarrows, so I'm kind of hoping I could potentially fill 3 of them with the digger and then start moving them along and filling this up. But yeah, it's going to take quite a few trips, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, really happy with the progress today. Got a lot done, but yeah, it's time to now chill. It's definitely been a full-on graft today, so have a little shower, might have a cheeky Chinese, Saturday night. But yeah, I'll see you in the morning.